Summary of The Selfish Giant. In this article, we'll study the summary of The Selfish Giant. The writer of this lesson is Oscar Wilde. The message of the story is coexistence and the spread of love. It is the story of a young man who was a messenger of God and a selfish giant. The giant did not allow children to play in his garden. Therefore, there was always winter in his garden. Seeing this young man, he realized that he was being selfish. Thus, he allowed the children to play in his garden and also play with them. After years, the giant became very weak. At that moment, this young man came and took him to paradise. The Selfish Giant English Summary. The story begins with the children playing in the giant's garden every afternoon after arriving from school. The garden was beautiful, large, with soft grass and fruit trees. The trees bore rich fruit and the birds sang sweetly sitting on them. One day, after 7 years, the giant returned. He was staying with his friend, the Cornish ogre. The children were afraid to see him. He saw the children playing and said that he would not allow anyone to play here as it was his own garden. He built a wall around it and also put up a bulletin board. The bulletin board displayed a warning: trespassers will be prosecuted. Children were sad because they had no other place to play. They would wander the high garden walls and remember the beautiful garden within them. Spring season arrived and there were flowers and little birds everywhere, but it was winter in the giant's garden and there were frost and snow. In the absence of children, the birds did not sing either. Once a flower sprouted from the grass, but after seeing the bulletin board, he also fell asleep again. Then came the north wind and the hailstorm. Due to the giant's selfishness, the golden fruits of autumn also did not reach his garden. Then one morning, the giant detected sweet and wonderful music. It was linnet singing outside his window. The hail and north wind stopped and he could feel spring. He saw the children entering his garden through a small hole. The children were sitting on the tree branches and the trees were blooming. He also saw the birds fly and heard them chirp. The flowers had also risen. But to his surprise, winter was still in one corner. He saw that a boy was standing there and he could not reach the branches of the trees. The tree lowered its branches, but still it could not climb. In this scene, his heart melted. He realized that he was actually very selfish. He decided to put that boy in the top of the tree, tear down the walls, and allow the children to play here forever. But when the children saw it, they fled and the garden was winter again. However, that child did not run while crying. The giant put it on the top of the tree and the tree immediately blossomed. He kissed the giant. The other children came back to realize that giant is not evil. Spring returned with them. The giant used to play with the children every afternoon, but that child was nowhere to be found. Over the years, it became very weak. One winter morning, he saw a beautiful tree with white flowers in the corner. The branches of the tree were golden and the boy stood underneath. The boy was injured, which greatly enraged the giant. He told the boy that he would kill the man who had hurt him. The boy told him that these were the wounds of love. The boy smiled and asked the giant to come to his garden. Later, the children found the dead giant under the tree covered in white flowers. To get the note of this lesson, you can find the link in the description or go to hari570.com.np. Thank you and all the best.